Again, sisters, brothers, Ken, bringing this town hall meeting to order. We did have an official executive board meeting earlier today. All executive board members were present, and we did log an official meeting today. Virtually no business moving forward discussed. Obviously, we cannot. At this point, what we would have probably done is a mid-season or mid-year adjustment on our budget. Brother Hatcher will get into that when he does his report. Obviously, that isn't going to happen because of our loss of income since COVID shut us down. But nonetheless, all of our executive board was here today. We had a wonderful 2.5-hour meeting. And the local is moving forward stronger than ever before. Before we continue much further, I would like to do a quick roll call. Again, even though this is just a town hall, we'll do a quick roll call of officers. I'm your president, Ray Brown. I'm present. Vice President Whit Norris.
Present.
General Secretary Treasurer Frank Hatcher.
Present.
Business Representative Mike Akins.
Here.
Director of Membership Kevin Amick.
Here.
Sergeant at Arms Kathleen Tonkin.
Here.
Delegate to the Georgia Labor Council Myra Foy.
Here.
Delegate to the AFL-CIO Kevin Cheatham.
Here.
Okay, so once again, full executive board. We have with us via Zoom in Los Angeles, California, our legal counsel, Bob Giolito. He was also present at our executive board meeting. Bob, thank you for taking time out and being with us today, sir. There are no additional guests here today. Brothers and sisters, if you'd help me at home, we take a moment. We lost a brother last night, a grip brother, Mitch Hirsch, or excuse me, not last night, over the weekend. I found out about it at 6 a.m. this morning. In addition to that, we lost brother Jonathan Brown May 2nd. Two well-known grips in the local 479 membership. I'd like to take a moment of silence, observe that for them and any other members who are hurting at this time. Sisters, brothers, kin, that brings us to the President's report, if you will. I'm very pleased to announce today that you'll hear throughout some of these reports today, we have some very encouraging news. Brother Akins is going to get into some specifics in his report, but I'm pleased to announce today that we have sisters and brothers of Local 479 working. We have shows that are starting to come online with crews firing up in July. We have crews firing up in August and a number of crews getting ready to shoot in September. Again, Brother Akins has more information on this. I don't want to steal too much of his thunder because it's all really great news. Just a general state of the local. As Brother Hatcher will soon report, we are still in a situation where cash flow is stopped completely. In terms of how the local has reacted to that, again, Brother Hatcher can give you more specific numbers, or those are reported in the financials that you should have received. But of our 18 total employees, 11 have been either laid off or furloughed. Most of the ones that we were able to retain are working limited hours, and a couple of our employees are continuing to go full strength. We continue to provide member services. That has not been diminished in any way. If you are in need in any way or need guidance or help or support, we expect that you would give our local a call, and we will connect you with the right system in order to help you out. So still moving strong here. Brother Akins will address in his report when the office is expected to be open again to foot traffic. We can currently have it shut down to very, very limited staff. I don't want to be too long-winded today. I'll conclude my report simply by saying this. We have positioned ourselves here in Georgia to be able to get back to work safely. There'll be more discussions on that later. I just want to make a personal plea to you all out there in the motion picture business, and please, to your friends, please, when you go out, please wear a mask. There's much debate about this. Let's say you got a 50-50 shot on the debate. Let's err on the side of the 50% that'll keep others healthy and keep us healthy. I ask this, I know there's much debate, but as a personal plea from your president of this local, I'm asking you to take care of yourselves, take care of those around you, and please put a mask on when you go outside, when you're traveling, or when you go outside and you're among people. Of course, you won't need it in a park or jogging or otherwise, but do the right thing and let's be smart about it. It's a bit of an inconvenience, but I want to get back to work. I know you want to get back to work, and this will be the way that we can help ensure that. Okay. I sincerely hope you're all well and healthy. I know we're experiencing tremendous hardships. We will get through this, brothers and sisters and kin. We will get through this. And we got some great things to talk to you about today in terms of moving in that direction. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to General Secretary Frank Hatcher for a very brief report on the finances of our local.
Thank you, President Brown. The financials ending May 31st were posted on the website, so if you want to go back and take a look at them, please feel free to. Please feel free to call me if you have any questions about them. As Ray said, we are dead in the water as far as income is concerned. I think nobody would misunderstand that or the reason why. We are about $1.2 million shy of our budget in revenue. That's the bad news. The good news is that we're about $600,000 over in expenses. Why are we $600,000 over in expenses? Because we paid out well over $1 million in member services with vacation checks and return of dues. So we're in good shape. We're about $1.8 million short of where we wanted to be at this point in time, but we still have over $11 million in investments in the bank. We planned for a rainy day, and boy, has it been raining. But we're in good shape. We don't have any issues. We have funds on hand, or soon will, to carry us through the next couple of months without having to liquidate any investments. So we're in very good condition, and we are ready and willing for everything to come back the way it should be as far as income goes. Thank you, President Brown.
Thank you, Brother Hatcher, for that. That'll move us to our business agent's report. Brother Mike Akins.
Thank you, President Brown. I have no report on today.
Huh. All right, then I'll tell everybody all the good news. Have it your way.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. We do have some good news. The industry is starting to wake up. I'm excited and optimistic that the unions and guilds are working directly with the employers to make it a safe return to go back to work. And I am confident that the industry will return, and hopefully soon, and that there will be an enormous amount of work once we have made the decisions on how to come back and to do it safely. On that note, the IA is working and negotiating directly with the AMPTP to come up with some of these guidelines. As you've been made aware of, the white paper and then the subsequent safe way to move forward. Documents are on our website. You can look at those. Please make yourself aware of those, because those are the things that the International is negotiating with the AMPTP in order to create a safe work environment when we return and production starts back up. We have actually had a little bit of production actually go into pre-production with construction, set deck, wardrobe, some of the other prep getting started. Tyler Perry being the primary example there. He is going into production at the beginning of this month in prep, and expects to start filming sometime around the middle of July under his quarantine procedures. As we move forward, a interesting note that the international IA, the DGA, SAG, the Teamsters all met with the AMPTP as one group this last week in an effort to get all of the minds together to help make a safe work environment for us to return to work. And believe me that everybody in that meeting, and it was attended by, well, close to 200 people, that the consensus is that everybody wants to get back to work. There is no shortage of energy being expanded to come up with the safe guidelines to do so. So thank you to our international for heading this up. It was the first time that all the unions and guilds and the AMPTP met together as one group, and that's unprecedented. So there is a huge effort to get us back to work. And I think that I'm seeing that happen. Obviously not as soon as I would like, but I am seeing a lot of conversations going on to start prepping in late July, early August, and then to actually start filming the 1st of September. And I think that's the best calendar guidelines that I could put forward to you now. But it is coming, and we are going to return to work hopefully soon. In working in that area there, believe me that the employer is trying to come up with the protocols to create the safe work environment. It is going to be upon us as individuals to comply with those rules and regulations. It is safe. It is the guidelines to create social distancing, to wear the PPE. It is on each individual to comply with that with the employer. We need to have and take some personal responsibility to make sure that we're safe with our brothers and sisters. So as these things come up, please be diligent about complying with the guidelines that are set forth by the employer. It's a good thing for us to work together with them to make sure that we are safe. On the local office aspect, we are still minimum staff on a day-to-day basis here, answering the phones and returning phone calls and working for you. I expect the staff to return sometime in July and for us to start being able to have outside visitors sometime after the 1st of August. On a effort by your local to try to help our members, the local office is daily working with the unemployment office to try to release these funds to get to you. I know that the Department of Labor is overwhelmed, i.e. basically just the simple numbers that are coming in versus the staff that they have working to try to resolve these issues. There is no real answer to it. The volume is such that it has just become unmanageable. I know that the legislature, the General Assembly, is addressing that, trying to find ways to help the Department of Labor get in and process the extraordinary number of claims that have been processed through the state of Georgia. In my research and looking out, I am happy to report that Georgia is way ahead of the curve on the other states such as North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Tennessee, that our state has really stepped up, but it does not do a whole lot for those of you who have not received checks. Believe me, in the weeks going forward, the local is going to turn an increasing amount of attention to trying to help those individuals. We support, or we forward communications to the Department of Labor on a weekly basis, and hopefully we can get some of these things taken care of in the weeks to come. So in closing, I know that the industry as a whole is doing its best to try to get back to work. I know that there's huge obstacles that we have to overcome to do that, but I'm confident, and I want to express a hope that the industry and our membership will get back to work. And when it does, I foresee 100% employment in a very, very short time, pending any outbreak of this virus that goes on. It is an extremely contagious virus, and we need to protect ourselves, and we need to come back to work safely. And I am confident that when it does, and when we figure this out, that we have a lot of creative people that are going to figure this out. And when it does, we're going to come back as strong as ever. The state of Georgia has positioned itself in a way that when the industry figures it out, the state of Georgia is ready to come back to work. And I think that that's going to happen in a very short order, barring any outbreak of the virus taking a huge uprise. President Brown, that is my report.
Thank you, Brother Akins. Thanks so much. I just want to tack on to that. Well, I appreciate all the hard work you're doing with the Department of Labor. I know that you deal with it daily. Thank you. We have other members dealing with it daily. Thank you very much for those who are involved. And I just want to briefly address the PPE that Brother Akins spoke of. These guidelines will be set forth, as he mentioned. They will adjust from studio to studio, show to show, major studios versus independent features. All these guidelines will adjust slightly, but nonetheless, you will be required to follow these guidelines when we go back to work. So if you felt like you wanted to get into a big debate about wearing a mask or not wearing a mask when you go back to work, I'm sorry to report to you that you will not have a choice. You will wear what they tell you to wear, barring any medical complications, and those will be addressed on an individual basis. So stop the debate on what you're going to wear and not wear. It's not up to you. It's up to our employers, and we will comply or we will not work for them. Okay, moving right along to our Education Director's report, please, Kevin Amick.
Thank you, President Brown. Just to let everyone know, we're continuing our e-learning platform for the local until further notice. We have seen a significant increase in interest for our OSHA 10 programs. We've now completed 5 of those online and been very, very good response. For those that may want to know what it entails, we're going to talk about OSHA policies, procedures, standards. This is customized for our industry. We're going to talk about PPE and the effectiveness of it and where its role is. Walking, working surfaces, hazard communications, electricity, ergonomics, exit routes, how to get out of a place safely, fall protection, and hand tools and tool safety. So we cover a wide array of topics. We've also completed several courses for ETCP certifications for those that are looking to obtain this certification in electrical and entertainment rigging, the rigging itself, plus the math that's involved in these courses. And again, we appreciate the attendance to those. We've done other courses covering the Vectorworks Spotlight programming things. We've got some art department classes that we're working on, and we'll hope to get them on the calendar in the near future. I want to talk about the ASA online safety courses that we've been talking about now for a couple years. We're still continuing to see an increase in registrations and participation there. Our local 479 makes up 42% of the total applications received in this program. With that being said, we are now at 56% of local participation here. We have over 2,900 members who have registered for this course. Please, we still need to work on that. This is a good opportunity to take those courses. And again, as we mentioned back in April, with the current discussions of safety and everything getting started back up, that there's a great chance that you'll be asked if you've attended these courses. These are made through the funding, through the Training Trust Fund. I also want to make mention of their Safety First online courses. We had 17 courses that were online, and they've just released 40 mini course in hazard communications and hazard IDs. These are real good courses and a lot of participation there. And hopefully at some point this week or next, we'll be releasing a COVID-19 awareness program that you can take through the Training Trust Fund. For those that are currently enrolled in the Safety First, it'll just be there for others that are hearing this and you want to know more about Safety First. Just send us an email into training at IATSE479.org, and we'll be happy to get you the information on how to register for these courses, and again, in any courses that we do. Thank you again for all those that have participated in our e-learning formats. Thank you for continuing to make Local 479 a great local to be a part of. That's my report, President Brown.
Brother, thank you so much for that report. I just want to add on to that the importance of completing your A2 and sexual harassment training. That's something very near and dear to me and Brother Amick. I dare say this entire executive board. This is our reality. It's just a matter of time, friends. When will they ask you if you have this training? It's just a matter of time. As Brother Amick just stated, we're finding more and more shows that are requiring this. We've had a few shows in Atlanta that have required the AA2 and sexual harassment training before you are hired. It caused quite a logjam of folks trying to get this training. What in the world is your excuse right now that you are not completing your AA2 and sexual harassment training? When this meeting is over, stand in front of something reflective and ask yourself that question. All right. That's going to move us to Brother Cheatham's report, AFL-CIO delegate report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do not have a report at this time.
Very good. Thank you very much. It's a little slow in that world, I think, at this moment. Sister Foy with the Georgia Central Labor Council report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also have no report.
Thank you. This moves us to our committee reports. We'll start with our Hardship and Scholarship Committee with Brother and Vice President Whit Norris.
Thank you, Ray. We still continue to support our membership through the Hardship Committee, and we've also helped a couple of our members as they came out of rehab recently. So anyway, that's it, Ray. Thank you.
Thank you. We do not, because this is not a regular meeting, we don't have our normal opportunity to speak about our substance abuse program, but I will take this opportunity now that Brother Norris kind of brought that to my attention. We know for a fact that there are members out there who are in need and who are hurting, and we have some resources that we can share with you. If you would be so kind as to call this hall and request a conversation with Billy Deacon. Billy Deacon handles our substance abuse program and our mental health program. And Brother Deacon will keep it confidential, and he will help you or help someone you know that needs this help in our local. And I would sincerely hope you take advantage of that now more than ever. Thank you, Vice President Norris, for that report. This will move us to our Young Workers Committee report with Delegate Cheatham.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do not have an official report for the Young Workers Committee. However, I do want to address our young workers out there. If you are a part of our Basecamp social app, just be aware of that and check that about once a week for any updates that we have concerning young workers business. If you are not a part of that social media app, please email us at youngworkers@IATSE479.org. Once again, youngworkers@IATSE479.org. We'll be sure to get you affiliated with that in there so you'll be up to speed on any and all updates on our Basecamp app. And that is my report, sir.
Thank you, brother. This moves us to Delegate Foy and the Women's Committee report.
Thank you. No official report, but I just wanted to take this moment to thank all the members that tuned into the Women in Production Summit that was held on yesterday. I saw a lot of familiar names in the chat section. I was a part of the union panel at the top of the program with members from 798, 600, and SAG-AFTRA, and I just want to say I assume it was very well attended. If for those of you who have not seen it, it will be made available via YouTube. It is in the process of being edited, so we will send a notice out within the next few days once we know that has been completed. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Foy, and thank you for being a part of that panel. We appreciate your voice and we appreciate your opinion and your experience and getting the word out to members that need to, or not necessarily members, but in the community to folks that need to hear it. So thank you. That's your second time participating in that, and I hope you continue to do so. Nothing to report from our Pride Committee at this time. That's Brother Nate Dahlkemper. That moves us to political action, and we'll let Brother and Business Representative Mike Akins get us started there.
I'm sorry, political?
Political action, yes, sir.
It's over, folks. We finally made it through the session. It ended. Friday night was the 40th day of the legislative session, and we can breathe easy. The attention to our industry and the tax credit bill was addressed in House Bill 1037, which was aimed at addressing the audit issues that were brought up this year and the subjects surrounding it. Representative Matt Dollar introduced a House Bill 1037 to address the audit of all projects in the state of Georgia, and it passed the House and is now on its way to the governor's desk, and we fully expect the governor to sign that into law. The other issue that we had this year was House Bill 1035. 1035 was aimed at addressing all incentives that the state offered, and late in the session it got amended at the Senate level to address a 10% cut to all tax incentives that the state offered. That bill is pretty much dead now. It was not brought up by the Senate, so I believe that it will just lay there and go away. We were pretty much in touch with everybody at the state capitol on this subject. Therefore, we were very confident that 1035 did not have a lot of legs to stand on this time. The fact that we have ended the session, I think that we came through the session this time taking care of business and looking forward. On a go-forward basis, we now will look from the Political Action Committee toward the November election. And I think it's going to be a very important election, and I'm looking forward to the Political Action Committee being involved with that. The Political Action Committee being President Ray Brown, Secretary Treasurer Frank Hatcher, and myself.
And Whit Norris.
And Whit Norris is on the Political Action Committee also. I would encourage you to reach out to any of these individuals. I believe President Brown chairs that, so I would address any concerns to him. But we will be looking forward to the November election, and it's time to be active again in our election cycle. So please get involved. That completes my report for political, sir.
Thank you, Brother Akins, for a great report. I will only add to that that we have identified some candidates who were once very supportive of the motion picture business in the state of Georgia, who we have since otherwise learned or determined that they may not be as supportive as they once were. We are following up on this to see where the issues are and to identify candidates who support our industry, support our workers, and support the tax incentive in this state. Please understand that we understand, we, meaning the executive board, we understand that we are in a political climate right now that is the hot button issues at every turn. But as your executive board, it is our responsibility to do what we can to make sure that this tax incentive stays in place, that opportunities for you to work stay in place. We are sworn to do this for you. And so this is our mission. Our mission is to make sure that we secure the work, we keep it, we do everything we can within our power, our financial resources, and otherwise to make sure that we protect the workers in Local 479 and that we protect the work that provides this income for our members. And in closing, in terms of political action, please vote. Please register to vote. And then, by all means, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to mean it, if you have to stand for 8 hours, do it. Stand there for 8 hours and cast your vote. Please, it's important. Follow your heart, follow your head, and put your vote in. It's important. Thank you very much for your understanding in reference to political action. That moves us to the Board of Trustees. I spoke with, or actually I received correspondence from Brother Johnny Thigpen, who is the chair of the trustees. They will be coming in soon to finish up 2019 and begin the first half of 2020. They will coordinate that with our CFO, Jimmy Butts, and our General Secretary Treasurer, Frank Hatcher. That should be happening here in the coming weeks. That takes us down to member communications, which I've received very little member communications. I've received a couple where I've reached out to members and had rather lengthy phone calls. These are mostly in reference to social issues that we're dealing with right now. Nonetheless, had some wonderful, wonderful phone calls and conversations with members. Other than that, there's no members to vote in or any waivers to discuss of any kind. At this point, I would allow any of our executive board members that wish to have the floor. That concludes our business and our information we wish to disperse today. Before we adjourn, I would open it up to any executive board member, if you'd be kind enough to raise your hand so that Jennifer can see you to put the camera on you. Anybody? Brother Hatcher, please.
Yeah, normally you would have seen at this time of the year us working on a mid-year adjustment to the budget. We spoke about that in the E-Board meeting, and because of the situation as it is, we know exactly why our revenues are dropped off the way they are. Our expenses are very much in control, so we decided that there would be no mid-year adjustment to the budget, so it'll carry through as is for the rest of the year.
Thank you, sir. Any other executive board members? Sister Tonkin, please.
On the lighter side, I just wanted to tell everybody that we're moving forward with the golf tournament for next year. It'll be May 1st of 2021. So dust off those clubs. And I hope you make it out next year. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. And that will be our second attempt at our 10th anniversary. And we will have our 10th anniversary golf tournament for sure. Any other executive board members? Okay, I'll close simply by, again, I wish to thank my fellow executive board members who have continued to work tirelessly through this. We have personally met on Zoom more times than we've ever met in the history of this local, I'm sure, but it was necessary because we have to communicate and we have to understand and we have to talk together about how we move forward. So, executive board members, thank you very, very much. Please continue to do what you're doing. It's very important work. Mike Akins, again, special thanks to you, your work with the DOL and helping out our members. I know you're working tirelessly, and I know that because you've helped 2 of my family members out trying to resolve their issues. Brother Norris, still on top of people in need and constantly dealing with folks who have medical hardships and doing everything he can there. Brother Amick never stopped the training, continues to produce online training classes. Sister Tonkin, goes without saying, still moving forward with the Women's Committee and planning for next year. Sister Foy, involving herself in the community and far beyond that and working with local members and providing resources for them, women who are making masks, etc. It goes right down the line to Brother Cheatham, who has never stopped working with the Young Workers Committee and never stopped moving forward, even though we canceled everything this year, already into planning for 2021. And that leaves us to Brother Frank Hatcher, who has never stopped managing the money. And even though he's not used to dealing with this sort of scenario, he has done it in a graceful way and has kept us apprised all along the way of how we'll move forward. That's every executive board member continuing to work harder than ever. And I thank you so much, especially in these trying times where sometimes you just want to sit on the couch and close the blinds and act like it never happened. Well, that's not our reality. It's happening. We're taking care of it, and we're handling it very well. I'm honored to be your president. To our members, thank you so much for your composure. This, I hope, is the most trying time we ever have in the history of this local. 2020 has not been good to us. It's been unkind, it's been ugly, and we have shown great poise through it. I say we, I'm referencing our membership now. You all have showed great poise through this incredibly trying time. You're absolute rock stars in my book. I appreciate you. I dare say I love you. I hope your families are well. I hope you're well. And we'll get through this together, brothers and sisters. I'll adjourn this town hall. Thank you, Bob Giolito from Los Angeles. Thank you, Executive Board. Have a blessed day, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you.